All right, joining us now, the political analyst, Dr. Protos Madlala. Dr. Madlala, good afternoon to you. I know you will have gone through this report. It's 3 pages by the Integrity Commission. They drafted it in only 3 days. Ace Magashule appeared before them on Saturday. It seems to be a very, very strong finding by this Integrity Commission.
Certainly it does, Stephen, but the weaker part of it is that it's a recommendation which is still has to go to the NEC, which seems to me that it has a final decision on this one. And we know the nature and the ingredients of the divisions that are within the NEC. So we know the camps. We know that the ANC has never been the same since the Polokwane conference. I think it was 2009. So in a way, I wish the Integrity Commission had a final word, and it itself was beyond reproach, as it were. That its decision would not be questionable. People, if the Integrity Commission was constituted by people like Oliver Tambo, people whose integrity were not questionable. So I think that would have been much better, because we know, I'm sure the Integrity Commission itself has got camps as well.
I mean, despite all of that, this has happened really remarkably quickly. Ace Magashule, the Integrity Commission, is very careful to point this out. In fact, they pointed out in a painstaking manner, they point out that he was very happy to appear before them, that he volunteered to appear before them. They say that he accepted the need to appear before them and that he would accept the outcome of an NEC decision even if he disagreed with it. Are they painting him in a corner by saying all of that?
Well, only time will tell, because we know a week or so he went public saying that no one can ever remove him from his position except the branches. No, now it's only time really can tell. And then let's say in case he does step aside, if this thing, noble as it is not handled, we know how fragile the ANC is. It has got a huge potential to destroy the ruling party, because it might, we know from the last 10 years of our recent past, that the criminal, our state institutions have actually been compromised, very much so. So they might be used so that we end up, even maybe number 1, 2 facing charges, and then he has to step aside, since suddenly the country is facing a crisis of no president. It has a huge, huge, huge potential to destroy the organization. Noble, the recommendation as it is, I note that. But noting that the ANC, the center, doesn't hold right now, if this thing is not managed properly, I think it should have been managed actually by the angels, people from outside this space, then probably it could work.
I don't know if you heard the clip from Kebby Maphatsoe, the leader of the uMkhonto weSizwe Military Veterans Association, complaining about the leak, saying that the leak was designed to put pressure on the ANC's top officials, and also saying that the Integrity Commission's ruling, its finding, if you like, or its report, doesn't help the process of unity in the ANC. Shouldn't an Integrity Commission be involved with unity, or should it be involved with integrity?
Well, both. Both are the same side of the same coin. I think the integrity also and the unity as well. I think they must place the organization above personal interest. But my biggest fear is that this could be used as a witchcraft, a witch hunt used by certain individuals. We heard quite a while ago, I think a year or so, one of the key, I think it was a former cabinet minister who said, everyone has a bit of a skeleton in the cupboard. So if it's going to be this one pointing at this thing like this one, who is going to run the country? The country might be facing a governance crisis.
Well, Dr. Madlala, there'll be quite a few opposition parties who will say they should have a chance. Obviously, they'll have to win an election first. All of this really points to, the deep roots of these problems within the ANC. This is not just about Ace Magashule. It's not just about anyone else, frankly. This goes back years and years, at least, well, I suppose, to the Polokwane conference, or before that even. Kgalema Motlanthe in, when was it, 2007, said the rotters across the board, a famous quote ascribed to him at the time.
Correct. Yes. As I said, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. I once argued that if the ANC was serious about fighting crime or corruption within its ranks, we'll need to build more prisons, and there will be no one to run the country.
How does this all play out? So if we see, for example, Pule Mabe, the spokesperson for the ANC, and of course his boss, if I understand the ANC organizational structure correctly, is the Secretary General. So he says that Ace Magashule is going nowhere. He says there's no need for a special NEC meeting to deal with all of this. If Ace Magashule makes good on his promise not to step aside until branches tell him to do so, it would seem the ANC is going to be stuck in paralysis in a year in which there'll be local government elections, which will be difficult to fight in this specific state, and in which it will have to make hard decisions about who will actually represent it as mayors in the cities.
Certainly, I confirm with your view, Stephen, because in KwaZulu-Natal right now, you know that a precedent has been set. Our former eThekwini mayor, who had just joined the provincial legislature, was asked to step aside, and she has done that. So why should it end up with her only? We cannot have like an animal farm kind of rulings that for it applies to certain people and others it's not applicable to others. So I think the ANC, that's why I was saying this thing must be handled very, very cautiously, because it has got a potential to pull the organization, which is already in tatters. So it has a huge potential to pull the organization apart.
Protus Madlala, Dr. Protus Madlala, I really do appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed. Live from KwaZulu-Natal.